about a revolution. It's finally the table are starting to turn. Talking about a revolution. Oh, no. Talking about a revolution. Oh.
Good evening and hello to another Southwest Wrestling Hype Show. I am Johners from the Wrestling with Johners podcast, and I am joined, as always, by my Southwest Wrestling Hype Show co-host, Conor Bailey, over on my right-hand side there. Conor, awesome to have you back on the Hype Show. We haven't done one of these for a little while, and of course, we are looking forward to the Cheltenham Town Hall, January the 26th, just around the corner, for talking about a revolution. But my friends, welcome back, and how are you doing?
Reunited, and it feels so good. Jonas, thank you so much for having me back on here. And honestly, we get to talking about a revolution from Southwest Wrestling Sunday, January 26th. I am absolutely stoked for this. Like, legitimately one of the most exciting wrestling shows happening. And it's only January. It's only 1 month into 2025, and Southwest Wrestling is already putting on a banger. So very excited to talk about all the matches that's going to be happening at the Cheltenham Town Hall this coming week.
And this is what we're on about. This is what Conor is alluding to. January the 26th, this coming Sunday. It's just 5 days away. You need to be heading over to cheltenhamtownhall.org.uk. That is the website, and there will be a link in the description to wherever you're watching this, where you can nip over there now, get your ticket or tickets, take the family, because it's going to be a loud, raucous event live from the Cheltenham Town Hall, talking about a revolution from Southwest Wrestling. And it's going to be a fantastic occasion, and so much to look forward to. And so much to look forward to on this Hype Show. We've got 6 tremendous matches, 6 main event caliber matches, as it's been described. And I agree with every single word to look forward to. We're going to be talking about, we're even going to be having some guests. So very, very soon, we're going to be talking to our first guest. We are going to have champions scattered throughout this Hype Show, including at the very end, where you're going to want to stay tuned. But I'm not going to let too many cats out of the bag. You're going to have to stay tuned. But we do have one of our champions, one of Southwest Wrestling's champions, joining us very, very soon. But Conor, let's say the last time we were in the Cheltenham Town Hall, was, of course, for Wrestleversary, for a tremendous occasion. But that was just one of many, many fantastic shows from Southwest Wrestling in 2024. And for any of my viewers, or any of our viewers that may not be too familiar with Southwest Wrestling and kind of the action that you can expect from the Cheltenham Town Hall on Sunday, here's a little bit of a glimpse as far as what 2024 looks like for Southwest Wrestling. Here we go.
This is it! This is what it's all been leading up for! Gale Force! Now 2-time Southwest Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, JJ Gale! The longest reigning Warriors Champion. You are looking at your brand new Southwest Wrestling Warriors Champion.
Southwest Wrestling, Blue Cup holder, Axel Carter.
Your new openweight champion sets on canvas the swinger of the squared circle, the Flynn Daddy, Flynn Burden.
I'm Mr. and I call the shots!
Southwest Wrestling Tag Team Champions.
Conor, 2024 was probably the best year in Southwest Wrestling's history. And I got a feeling that it's only going to get better from here, especially kicking it off extra hot with Talking About a Revolution. Once again, back at the Cheltenham Town Hall. As you said earlier, what a way to kick off the new year. What a way to kick off 2025. Any fond memories for you as far as what 2024 gave us? And what a fantastic company and what a fantastic year Southwest Wrestling had.
Well, in case you weren't able to hear during that recap video, I got quite excited at a lot of the matches that were happening. I had to have, particularly after WrestleVersary, I had to have a full suitcase full of lozenges and herbal teas in order to get my voice back to what it is sounding now. But 2024 was a fantastic year. Obviously, the big WrestleVersary event at Cheltenham Town Hall, certainly speaking from a personal level, one of my fondest wrestling memories to date. To commentate in such a historical venue like Cheltenham Town Hall is a memory I will never, ever forget. But in terms of the other aspects of it, the standard, the calibre of matches put on last year was absolutely fantastic. Southwest Wrestling has always had a fantastic calibre, but 2024 raised it to a new level, and 2025, particularly from what the card we've seen here for Sunday, it's going to get even better.
Absolutely. And we are live, of course. I may have neglected to mention at the top of the podcast, but we are live for Southwest Wrestling across Southwest Wrestling's X, Facebook and YouTube channel. So if you're watching live, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Get in touch with the show, interact with the show, send us your questions, tell us what matches you're most looking forward to seeing at the Cheltenham Town Hall, Talking About a Revolution this coming Sunday, January the 26th. But we are almost ready to introduce our very first guest. But first of all, a few people that are watching us live at home. We got Richie watching us live at home. Hey, Johners. Hey, Conor. Thank you very much for joining us, Richie. And I got Jim watching us live at home via Facebook. Hi. And how are you? I'm fine, thank you very much. And I think Conor is much the same, especially being here and talking about a revolution throughout the course of this hype show. But we're going to be talking about the Southwest Wrestling Warriors Championship now. And to introduce you to the two opponents, to introduce you to that match, we do have a little bit of a recap. And this is what we're going to be talking about very soon.
We have got ourselves the hometown hero, known across the world as the Demolition Woman, the longest reigning Warriors champion in Southwest Wrestling history.
Yeah, it's been a long night and the mirror's telling me to go home. But it's been a long time since I felt this good on my own. Lot of years went by with my hands tied up in your ropes. Forever and ever, no more. The midnight sky is the road I'm taking. Head high up in the clouds.
She's done it! She's done it! For Wonderland Warrior has achieved her dream! You are looking at your brand new Southwest Wrestling Warriors champion, Luna!
I still hold the #1 contenders contract for the Warriors Championship, and I will be cashing in on January the 26th in Cheltenham. It's not personal. I just want my belt back.
Conor, the Southwest Wrestling Warriors Championship match. The Wonderland Warrior Aluna going in to her hometown once again, defending against the former champion LA Taylor. And we are going to introduce our first guest, none other than the current Southwest Wrestling Warriors champion, the Wonderland Warrior Aluna. Aluna, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us on the Southwest Wrestling Hype Show ahead of Talking About a Revolution this coming Sunday. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
Good evening. Hello. Thank you very much for having me.
You're very, very welcome. Now, we are only 5 days away from you defending your championship, the Warriors Championship, that you've proudly defended across the Southwest since first winning it in June last year at the Cheltenham Town Hall. I've got to ask you, how are you feeling? Where's your mind at? How are you feeling mentally, physically ahead of this big championship defense against LA Taylor?
Well, mentally and physically, I'm feeling good. I'm really excited to go into this match. You know, to wrestle in your hometown is always an incredible experience anyway. To win this title in my hometown means the world, and then to hopefully defend it on Sunday, you know, I'm going to give it everything. The hometown fans have been incredible to me at Southwest, so I really hope I can give them something special on Sunday.
There we go. Conor, I understand you've got some questions for our Southwest Wrestling Warriors champion.
I do indeed. Just before asking that question, I just want to say congratulations on everything you've achieved thus far. Luna 2024 was a fantastic year for you, and you've already begun 2025 so strongly. So just wanted to say massive congratulations on everything that you've done thus far. And I'm sure
you're so kind. Thank you very much.
As well. So you mentioned obviously winning the championship at the Cheltenham Town Hall, a place near and dear to your heart. Obviously, chasing and winning a belt is a lot different to defending the belt. So in terms of your mindset, in terms of now defending the championship in front of your friends and family in Cheltenham Town Hall, are you going in with anything different? What's your approach, if anything has changed for that?
I think this match is obviously different to the match where I won the title, because the previous match was a triple threat. So I had two other women to worry about. Now I've got LA Taylor in the corner opposite me, and LA and I have known each other for many, many years. She was the first female that I wrestled on the circuit, and we've wrestled numerous times for SWW and at other places. So we know each other very well. She is an incredible wrestler. As it was mentioned in the video, she's wrestled all over the world, and she's on a real tear. I think for me to defend this title against her would be an incredible achievement for me, because I don't think I've ever actually pinned her. So that would be across anywhere. So that would be an achievement for me in itself, you know, to get that winning pin. But obviously then that would mean that I would retain my title. So I think I'm going in with the mindset of, you know, I need to pin her because I need to retain my title. And that's something I've never done before. And, you know, that is a huge challenge.
Indeed. Now, Conor, I know we've got more questions for our Warriors champion, but so we do have LA Taylor's video and some quite interesting points raised by LA Taylor ahead of her being the challenger this coming Sunday from the Cheltenham Town Hall.
Luna, I just want to say congratulations on your fantastic victory. I'm so proud of you as a friend. We've seen each other go from the very beginning to where we are now in wrestling, and you are killing it. Unfortunately, I still hold the #1 contenders contract for the Warriors Championship. And I will be cashing in on January the 26th in Cheltenham. It's not personal, pal. I just want my belt back.
Don't you know you better run, 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 run.
Conor, I know that you had a question in particular about LA Taylor's comments there.
Absolutely. Aluna, as you've mentioned, you and LA have wrestled numerous times. You guys have really kind of been intertwined with each other in terms of the matches that you've done. Obviously, this match, as you've mentioned, hometown, return with the belt at Cheltenham Town Hall.
Yes.
In terms of your guys' friendship together, can you put that to a side for this match? And do you feel as though that you'll be able to capitalize and really as you mentioned, if you're able to pin LA and put that bullet point on that match?
I think for the sake of this match, we are going to have to put our friendship aside. We will always be friends. We've been friends from the very start. So I think that's why it makes this match so special for both of us, is because we are very good friends. And LA has obviously held the title before. She knows what it takes to become a champion and to be a champion. She was an incredible women's champion at SWW. But it's also my time now as the champion. And although she will want to try and win the belt a second time, and I know she said she wants her belt back, she doesn't have the hometown crowd and the home advantage like I have. And I really hope that is going to carry me through on Sunday.
Absolutely, and thank you, Conor. But before we say farewell to our SWW Warriors champion, and thank you so much for joining us on this hype show, you've obviously got a very, very determined, a very, very dialed in LA Taylor, determined and focused to be a two-time Warriors champion. She felt that she was unfairly dethroned from her championship more than a year ago against Charlie Morgan, of course. The woman that you defeated alongside LA in June at the Cheltenham Town Hall the last time we were there. But it's one-on-one now. It's going to be yourself versus LA Taylor this coming Sunday. How do you plan to overcome the Demolition Woman, who is determined and focused to win that championship for a second time?
Realistically, I think I have to go in with the same mindset that I've done with all of my other title defenses, is that I have to beat her. That's the only way I'm going to retain my title. She's dialed in and focused. But like I said, just because we're friends, don't think that I'm not as well. This match is hugely important to me. And, this title is definitely one that I want to be carrying, for as long as LA reigned as the Warriors champion. So, yeah, my mindset going into the match on Sunday is I have to win. Whatever it takes, I have to win.
There we go. But we got Lee Aspinall watching us live at home via YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your question. But the Warriors champion herself, hello, Aluna. So we got fans from all over the UK tuning in, and massive fans of Aluna who are going to be cheering you on, as well as your hometown fans, friends and family back in your hometown of Cheltenham from the Cheltenham Town Hall, talking about a revolution this coming Sunday. But the Wonderland Warrior, Aluna, the current Warriors champion, we want to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me this evening.
And we'll see you Sunday. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There we go. And what a guest to kick things off. And we spoke a lot about the Warriors Championship match there, Conor. It really is going to be an absolute spectacle. And I think Aluna has her hands full on a very, very focused, a very, very determined LA Taylor. And since we last saw the two of them in the ring in the Cheltenham Town Hall, LA has gone all over the world. She's fought some of the best over in Japan and the best over here in the UK and across Europe. But it's going to be a fantastic match and a wonderful occasion. And like I say, if Aluna can overcome LA Taylor on Sunday, she will truly be the Warriors champion.
It's historical, and that might be high. People might say that's hyperbole. There's only, as the Warriors Championship was introduced, there's only been 3 Warriors champions: LA Taylor, Charlie Morgan, and Aluna. There's never been a 2-time Warriors champion. So for LA Taylor, she could be making history by becoming the first ever Warriors champion. There's a lot on the line for her as well.
Absolutely. And Richie, again, good luck to both LA and Aluna. Good luck to both women there. That's going to be a fantastic match. But we've got more to look forward to. And let's talk briefly about this match here.
Don't you know you better run, 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 run.
Axel Carter, the current Southwest Wrestling Brit Pro Cup champion, against Sid Scala, making his debut in an SWW ring. Conor, this is another match to look forward to, and a championship match, the second championship match that we're going to be talking about. But enlighten us, for those at home that may not be too familiar with the rules of the Brit Pro Cup, what it might entail, and what we might have in store on Sunday. Tell us a bit about the rules and a little bit about the championship that Axel Carter, I think he's been the champion for quite a while now, but tell us a bit about the championship and about our competitors.
Of course, so as you mentioned, Axel Carter, holder of the Brit Pro Cup, he has held that cup for 637 days, which is a record-breaking number of days for the cup. It is traditional British rules, so it is a round system. Within the matches, there are 5 rounds. In order to become the Brit Pro Cup champion, you will need to get either 2 submissions, 2 pinfalls, a combination of each, or alternatively 1 knockout. And that is within a 5-round system. The motto for Southwest Wrestling is old school with the new school, and this match is the definition of that.
Absolutely. And we're going to be seeing the debut of supercharged Sid Scala, and one of the most skilled and respected pros on the UK scene. Obviously a former WWE NXT UK superstar, of course. We saw him on our TVs week in, week out. But I think he's demonstrated, you know, for many years now, and especially since leaving NXT UK, that he is truly one of the most established and one of the most skilled professionals on the UK scene. And this is going to be a very, very tough defense for Axel Carter. But Axel Carter, of course, you know, he specializes in the mat game, the traditional British style. So this is going to be a very, very interesting match. What sort of match do you think we're going to see on Sunday between Axel and Sid Scala?
It's going to be a throwback to the World of Sport days, but with that modern twist. Sid Scala, as you mentioned, when he was part of NXT UK, he was very closely linked to Johnny Saint, which is obviously just a legendary name within the British wrestling scene. With Sid Scala, he's obviously a teacher as well. He's a teacher at Hustle Wrestling Academy up in London too. So he has all of this knowledge, all of this experience, but Axel Carter really puts in the grind. I would probably say with Axel Carter, he is the workhorse of Southwest Wrestling, putting in those reps. Even last year, the number of matches that he had was in the triple digits. So you've got workhorse versus a font of knowledge in Sid Scala.
Absolutely. And thinking back to our venue, the Cheltenham Town Hall is steeped in British wrestling history, of course, Conor. And of course, you know, a traditional World of Sport venue. And I think the Brit Pro Cup Championship match will be right at home in Cheltenham, right at home at the Cheltenham Town Hall. And that is another fantastic match to look forward to on Sunday. Just go to the cheltenhamtownhall.org.uk. That is the website. There should be a link in the description to where you're watching this right now. Just click on that and it will transport you straight through to that website. We can get your ticket or tickets for Southwest Wrestling, talking about a revolution this coming Sunday, the 26th of January. But we do have another championship match to talk about. And to introduce it, I've got another video package. Here we go.
Winning a championship takes you from hunter to hunted. The Flynn Daddy took the gold, and now the wolves are at the door. A former champion who wants revenge, and he'll do whatever it takes to get it. A beast who's been beaten before, but this time won't stop until Flynn's broken. An outsider, one who Flynn's never conquered, and who's looking to tear the heart out of SWW. This pack of predators, all baying the Flynn burden's blood.
I know you're all gunning for it. I know you're all gunning for me. But at Cheltenham Town Hall, The Flynn Daddy is gonna get sexy.
It's time to unleash the beast.
I'm a man of retribution. Look out, mate. The inevitable will happen. Paralyze, resist at any time or place. People slap right across your face. Come on.
And at the end, as the dust settles in Cheltenham Town Hall, who will stand tall? SWW Open Weight Champion.
Conor, it's going to be a fatal four-way for the SWW Openweight Championship. And we do have the reigning defending Openweight champion joining us right now, the Flynn Daddy, the Openweight champion, Flynn Burden, joins us live on the SWW Hype Show. Champ, you're in the building. How you doing?
Let's get sexy, Johners. Hello there, Condoleezza. How are we this evening?
We're doing very well, even better now that we are graced with your presence. But straight off the bat, Flynn, you feuded with Sid for well over a year over to get your hands on that championship, which you did finally the last time we were in the Cheltenham Town Hall. Liam Jones, he's been a thorn in your side throughout 2024, especially after he attacked you in Stroud in November. You were involved in that match at the Frog and Fiddle in December. And of course, Big Jim Diehard in 2024, but we've seen a revitalized resurgence of Big Jim in 2024. Now he's in full beast mode. I've got to ask you, we're already 5 days away from your big championship defense against not just one, not two, but three of the biggest men in UK wrestling, three of the most fiercest competitors you could possibly wish for. They're all gunning for you, my friend, on Sunday. How are you feeling? Yeah. Where's your head at?
I'm ready, Jonas. As I've said, I've beaten Sid Oakley. I've beaten him several times. The only reason he got his win, retained his belt, should I say, not got his win because he didn't win. The only time he retained this belt was because he used a low blow to get himself disqualified. He used some underhanded tactic to get himself there, but it's fatal four-way, same as last time. There is no disqualifications in this match. So Sid Oakley ain't going to be able to weasel his way out to a cheap win. Big Jim, I beat him. I've beaten Big Jim 1, 2, 3. Nice and clean. Choke slam and a good old Tokyo Sandblaster. Took the big beast packing. So as far as I'm concerned, Big Jim, let's be real, he's lost. Why has he got another shot? Because he inserted himself into my match with Liam Jones. Now, Liam Jones, I had beat as well. Liam Jones, I hit him with that choke slam onto the Lego, onto the condoms. It was a whole smorgasbord of sexy in that ring. And it wasn't until Big Jim and Sid Oakley pulled Rory, our esteemed and delightful referee, good old Rory. Much love to him. One love. Yeah, they pulled him out and cost me that win. I had Liam Jones beat. That was a 1, 2, 3. You saw it, Johners. You saw it with your own two peepers. He was done. Liam Jones knew he was done. They knew he was done. But just because they've got some animosity towards me, they're trying to kind of twist the knife. They're trying to twist it just a little bit. But they twisted it big time. And they've pissed off the big sex machine. And the Flynn Daddy don't take that kind of thing lightly. And I'm going to go in there. All guns are blazing. I've got 3 people to contend with. Okay, there is a very small percentage of a chance of me retaining this belt. Let's be real. You have got Big Jim. Big Jim is a big son of a bitch. Can I say bitch? Can I say that?
You
here?
can indeed.
We're
You already
live.
have done.
I've already
We're
said
live,
it. I've said
pal.
it twice. I've said it twice. Sorry, kids. Is it after the watershed? We're not there yet. No. Okay, we've broken rules. But Big Jim, big fella. But you got a minute? I've beaten him. I've beaten Big Jim. Not many people can say that, but I beat him clean, and he gave me as good as he's got. Sid Oakley, a whole year of it, a whole year or more of dealing with that gammy little geezer. Now, Sid Oakley is wily and he is crafty, but he's the smallest guy in the match. So he's the least of my worries. Give him a bottle of Jack, he'll go sit in a corner and drink that for the rest of the match. Liam Jones. Liam Jones is very good. The same as all of them. They're all very, very good wrestlers. But Liam Jones, he just packs a punch. And I got a lot of history with Liam. I go all the way back to the start of me and wrestling with Liam. So I know his games. I know his mindset. And he hasn't changed one bit in all the years I've known him. And I've got no worries about him. I've got his number. I've had him beat once. I'll have him beat again. So on this Sunday, Cheltenham Town Hall, talking about a revolution. They're going to be talking about the Flynn Daddy retaining the SWW Openweight Championship and looking mighty sexy doing it.
Absolutely. I know Conor's got some questions for you, but before we do have a little bit of a video package sent in to us, especially from Big Jim Diehard, because he is ready for Sunday as well.
I've always had a great respect for SWW owner Pete Bainbridge. He's always looked after me since the first day we met. And for a long time, I kept falling short of what I should have been doing, and he still stuck by me. You know, I'd lose a match, I'd come backstage, he'd say, yeah, great match, good job. He'd give me another booking, he'd give me another date, but I could see the disappointment in his eyes. When I lost to Flynn and I saw that same look in Pete's eyes again, I knew that enough was enough.
It's time to unleash the beast.
You've seen in recent months what I can do. The beast has been awoken. And this opportunity that I've got on January 26th in Cheltenham, you know, it's a challenge. Sid Oakley's a former champion. He's reckless, he's fearless, he's sadistic. Liam Jones is young, hungry, incredible athlete. Flynn is the champion, big, strong, one of the hardest hitters I have ever met.
But not one of them has the experience I have, the power I have. None of them have something to prove like I do.
So I either leave Cheltenham as a champion or a loser. And if that happens, then I have to question, maybe I was just never good enough, maybe my time's up.
But if I win, then I'm coming for all the gold. Openweight Championship is just the beginning. Who's going to stop me?
Oh, I said you better run, 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 run.
Flynn, some big words from a big man there, and I think you know you've got three tough competitors, three tough opponents, but Big Jim Diehard, he's laid all of his cards on the table there. But before you retort to that, I want to hand over to my esteemed colleague over on the right hand side because Conor's got some questions for you.
Hello, Daddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, baby. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine seeing you, sir.
Shall I go?
So,
Get out of the Johners. Everybody turn off.
well, we'll do that post watershed. It'll be fine.
Okay. 9 o'clock.
Flynn,
Be back.
Be back here. Flynn, this is obviously your first time being a singles champion in SWW, and you've had all of these men coming after you, after your back, being commentating over these matches for you for months now. whether it's the scrappiness of Sid Oakley, the brutality of Big Jim Diehard, or the power of Liam Jones. All of them have been circling, orbiting around the sexy sphere for months and months now. Obviously, some of the most hardest hitters in Sid Oakley's cage, one of the most nastiest, gougiest men I have ever seen alive. Obviously, with all of this stuff, this must have had an impact on you physically. And now I'm not doubting the physical prowess of Sex on Canvas. But going into this match, physically and mentally, are you feeling 100%?
I'm feeling more than 100%. Yes, I've gone through a few battles since winning this title. You know, I've had Visage, who made their SWW debut on that show, challenging for this in an open challenge. And Visage was one of the toughest hitters I've been in there, one of the most vicious people as well. I've had Big Jim. I've had Liam Jones. But out of all of these three, Sid Oakley is the only one that really deserves a rematch, because he hasn't had his rematch for this title. The rest of them, Liam Jones, unfortunately, he had his shot cost. Big Jim lost. Sid Oakley, the only one that really deserves it. But it doesn't matter who deserves it and who doesn't, because I'm going to whoop all their asses, Connor. It doesn't matter what kind of state I'm in. I'm coming out swinging. There are going to be sex swings all left, right, and center up in that town hall. And the Flynn Daddy's walking out with that belt. I've got no stress. Don't you worry about it. The Flynn Daddy is going to be right on top.
Now, let me ask you, Flynn, 5 days away from the big show, talking about Revolution, the Cheltenham Town Hall, January the 26th. Big Jim, Sid Oakley, and of course, Liam Jones. Do you have a final message for your three opponents heading into that big championship match, probably your biggest openweight championship defense to date?
Well, all of them feel like they've got something to prove. Big Jim said it in his little package there, sat in a dark garage. You know, he said that, you know, also, can I just say, they had a cougar noise in there and it wasn't loud enough. I feel they should have amped up the cougar noise and made it a bit more dramatic. I don't know. If there's a cougar noise somewhere, I want a bit of a cougar noise. You know, am I crazy? Am I crazy, Connor?
No, you're not crazy at all. You deserve the biggest cougar noise.
Not at all. I want a cougar noise. I'm going to have one on my entrance. I'm going to put one in. I'm going to chuck one in. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to outdo their cougar. So Sable is going to be so jealous. These three, they all got something to prove. Liam Jones wants to, as it said in that hype package, he wants to tear the heart out of SWW. You know, he's from day one, he's been trying to do something to screw with Pete Bainbridge, to screw with SWW, just to screw with the company. Sid Oakley, he wants his retribution. He wants his vengeance for losing this title. That's what he wants to prove, is that he is the rightful champion. Let's be real. And Big Jim feels like it's almost his last shot. Now, Big Jim has been on such a losing streak. Why did he even get a shot in the first place? Yet he got one. And that seems to be because he's got such a tight connection with Pete Bainbridge and probably our SWW commissioner, Mr. Fox. Because he's got that tight connection, he's getting these shots. And if he wants to come at it, he can. But the fact of the matter is, with all these three thinking they've got to prove something, I've got something to prove too. It took me how many years to get a shot at a singles belt in this company? It took me so long. I am not on anybody's, I want to wrestle this person's list. I'm not on this, or I'm not on that. I want to be on those lists. I want to prove to everybody, whilst holding this belt, that I am a contender in the British wrestling scene. You may have not heard of me, but I guarantee you in 2025, after this Sunday, you're going to know exactly who the Flynn Daddy is and why he is the sexiest SWW openweight champion of all the times. I'm going to be going down in the annals of history.
There we go. But the openweight champion, Sex on Canvas, the Flynn Daddy, Flynn Burden, thank you so much for joining us on our second ever SWW Hype Show. We're looking forward to seeing how it all unfolds this coming Sunday from the Cheltenham Town Hall. But Flynn, for now, thank you very much, my friend.
Keep it sexy, Johners. Keep it lubed up there, Connor.
Bye, Daddy.
Wow, that was an experience. But all the more reason to look forward to this four-way championship match for the openweight championship. Flynn Daddy defends against Liam Jones, Sid Oakley, and Jim Diehard in that fatal four-way match. Conor, that's going to be a spectacle.
Honestly, I'm going to need to ensure my voice is clear for this one. If you're sitting on the front row in Cheltenham Town Hall on Sunday, be prepared for some meaty men to be going past you, because that one, particularly with no disqualification rules, anything can happen.
Absolutely. We got Matt watching us at home. Let's get sexy. Matt's definitely up for it. He's going to be there, the Cheltenham Town Hall, I have no doubt. And Joshua watching us live at home via Facebook. It's going to be a slobber knocker. I think that's one way to describe it, Joshua. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Joshua. Keep sending in your questions. Keep sending in your comments. What matches are you most looking forward to? What do you think will be the outcome of some of these matches? But we do have one more guest at the very, very end. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Our SWW heavyweight champion, JJ Gale, is set to be joining us at the very end of the Hype Show to talk about his championship match. But we have some more matches to talk about before we do. And before we have the SWW heavyweight champion on our screens, we're going to be talking about this one next.
Don't you know you better run, 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 run. Oh, I said you better run, 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 run.
Conor, two of the finest, two of the best, two of the most experienced professional wrestlers in the UK in 2025. Charlie Sterling goes up against the Reese maker, the alpha male, Yeston Reese. And what a match this is going to be. You could say two, contrasting styles, two contrasting wrestlers. But Conor, that is going to be a spectacle. When you talk about two of the very, very best in the UK, you can't talk any more highly of these two. Charlie Sterling, who is one half of, let's say, one of the best tag teams in the UK, but individually, he's one of the best out there, going up against Yeston Reese. Both of these two have a rich history in a Southwest wrestling ring. And what a match, what a spectacle it's going to be when Charlie Sterling steps through the ropes to face Yeston Reese this coming Sunday.
Yeston Reese is one of those wrestlers who has been wrestling for more years than a lot of people have been alive. So with Yeston Reese, it's the veteran instinct. It's this absolute huge, gigantic wrestler who dwarfs over most people. But Charlie Sterling isn't like most people. As you've mentioned, no stranger to Southwest Wrestling. I've seen him and Nick Riley of the Smoking Aces go up against the Greedy Souls in absolute bangers of matches. But one thing I would mention with Charlie Sterling, we saw him go up against JJ Gale, our Southwest Wrestling champion. And it reminded me how much of a scary individual Charlie Sterling is. One of the most remorseless people I have ever seen in a ring. So when these two athletes, when these two professional wrestlers come together, it is going to be something else.
Absolutely. And recently in an SWW ring, of course, as you mentioned, we have seen Charlie Sterling go up against the reigning defending SWW champion, JJ Gale, and that was at the show in December at the Trinity Centre in Bristol. And we also saw his match against Zach Knight, one of the competitors in our main event, and they both went to a double count out during their match in 2024. As for the alpha male, the last time we saw him in the Cheltenham Town Hall, he went up against Bullet in a tremendous match between two of the best heavyweights in all of Europe. And of course, more recently in Stroud, we saw him defeat AJ Kazana, and he's got the bit between his teeth. He's motivated. He's got the winning streak under his belt. But this are two individuals, two in-form individuals, two big individuals. You mentioned Charlie Sterling is super athletic, but very, very frightening in terms of his presence and what he can actually do in the ring. Yeston Reese, one of the biggest, most powerful men in all of professional wrestling. This is going to be an absolute spectacle and one we're all very, very much looking forward to. But what sort of kind of clash match are the fans in the Cheltenham Town Hall likely to get between these two? Because you think about it, they're both big, powerful men, but maybe contrasting styles as well, Conor.
I would say that in terms of the kind of contrast of styles, Charlie Sterling is very much quick. He has that explosive energy, which does come out of nowhere. Not to say Yeston Reese isn't quick at all whatsoever, because he equally has that. I feel as though Yeston Reese definitely has that, as mentioned, that veteran advantage to him, that almost old school kind of vibe about him. But with Charlie Sterling, you have to be careful because he can be quick, and most notably as well, with Charlie Sterling, he is not one to, he's a very practical and pragmatic man, let's just say. So our official Rory White will probably need to be on his toes for this one.
Absolutely. And we have another championship match to talk about. But before we do, here's a little bit of a reminder as far as what match we're looking forward to.
Don't you know you better run, 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 run. Oh, I said you better run, 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 run.
The Professionals going up against the Blockbusters. The Professionals, the current Southwest Wrestling Tag Team Champions, and the Blockbusters, the current NWA JCP Southeastern Tag Team Champions. And it will be double title match. It will be title versus title. And Conor, what a tremendous match. What a tremendous spectacle to look forward to. We do have some videos to help us, to help whet the appetites and get us to look forward to and to explain a little bit about the history between these two teams. Here we go.
We're backstage here at Southwest Wrestling in Stroud. We're joined by Eddie Ryan and Joel Redmond, the Professionals, successfully defending your Southwest Wrestling Tag Team Championships today against Mr. Fox and T-Bone. Now, the last time we saw Mr. Fox, he promised to bring his enforcer and to take them championships away from you. That did not happen, gentlemen. You must be elated with the win.
I can't speak for Joel, but I am. We got the job done. And yes, there are a couple of rocks in the road, a couple of bumps, but we are all good. We are 100%. And the Professionals are here to do what we do best, and that's win.
Yeah, luckily I was there, so I managed to get the win, as usual. It's a good thing I was in the match, but obviously got hit with a belt, pile driver. I was hoping my tag partner might be there to help me out a little bit. He was too busy on the outside. Thanks, pal. It's okay. And that's what I've got to deal with. Pick up. All right, Tobes.
All right, George. You there? Good Christmas?
Yeah, it was a good Christmas. Just, just cozy.
Listen, we're going to have to wrestle the Professionals again.
Again?
Again. And we lost in Plymouth. We lost to them. Now, I know our belts weren't on the line, but still, we lost. So what are we going to do this time?
Last time, it was a fluke, all right? I mean, Eddie Ryan, he was, hometown boy. He had the hometown advantage. And, I mean, let's be honest, they might have won the battle, but we're going to win the war, Tony, because, I mean, you've seen, they can't coexist. Those two egos.
That's right. They're falling apart. Not like us. No. We're solid. Solid like a rock. Or like your abs. Or like my quads.
Eddie almost cost him the first time. He cost Brandon Lee in Bristol. This time, I guarantee you, he's going to cost Joe in Cheltenham. He's going to cost him bad.
How about this? In Cheltenham, on January 26th, we make sure that both sets of belts are on the line. Our NWA JCP tag belts and their SWW tag belts. All or nothing, winner take all.
If that's the case, Toby, then, well, Cheltenham, they better bring their cameras. Yeah, they better bring their cameras because this one's going to be a blockbuster, yeah.
You're goddamn right. Eddie and Joel are going to have no idea what hit them, especially when we unveil our little surprise. Let's just say we've got Lady Luck on our side.
Lady Luck. yeah, Lady Luck.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, it will be a double title match, the professionals versus the blockbusters. But let me ask, I mean, in the opening video there, we saw maybe some cracks in the partnership between the professionals, Eddie Ryan and Joel Redman, after their match in Stroud. They did end up victorious. They are still the reigning defending SWW Tag Team Champions. But going up against the blockbusters, who felt like they had to go away to see the doctor. And when they came back, they were holding gold, NWA, JCP, Southeastern Tag Team Championship gold. Both championships are on the line. Give us your insight into kind of the build to this match and what sort of match we're likely to see on Sunday.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, I've mentioned the term historical, and this is going to be one of the most historical matches in Southwest Wrestling history. This is going to be one of the first double title matches for the promotion ever. For the very first time, there's going to be a tag team to hold both the SWW and an NWA championship alongside it, which is so historical worthy. As you mentioned, Johners, the professionals, as you saw there, a little bit of, I would describe it as tension. Listen, we all, in terms of our professional lives, we all have tensions every now and again for the 9 to 5. But listen, Eddie Ryan and Joel Redman, they've had more teams and more championships, and I've had glasses of milk, and I've had a lot of glasses of milk in my time. They are professional for a reason. Now, obviously in Bristol, as mentioned there, Eddie Ryan did defend the belts, or at least they attempted to go for those NWA, JCPE, Southeastern belts alongside Brandon Lee, who is, of course, a pupil of Joel Redman. Now, again, they are professional. I'm sure Joel Redman wouldn't have taken it personally. We all have tensions. We all have that aspect of our lives going in together. So professional by name, professional by nature. The blockbusters, though, as you've mentioned, they are on another level at this point. Those titles, those NWA, JCB, Southeastern Tag Team titles, were first held by Kerry and Ricky Morton. So the heritage, the lineage of those championships go far. And with the blockbusters, motivation and momentum may be on their side for this outing.
Absolutely. It's going to be an interesting one. And so I'm a huge fan of both teams, huge fan of tag team wrestling. It's a double title match, and it's going to be a tremendous match to look forward to. And you can be there. Just get your tickets. Head over to cheltenhamtownhall.org.uk or click in the link to the description of this show, and you'll be transported to the Cheltenham Town Hall's website. We can get your ticket or tickets today. It will be family occasions. So take granddad, take auntie, uncle, brother and sister, mum and dad. We'll see you all down there. It will be a fantastic occasion. We've got one more match to talk about and one more guest to bring on screen who is waiting in the wings. But to get us in the mood for this championship match, here's a little bit of a hype package. Here we go.
This is it! This is what it'll be leading up for! Gale, Force, Heart, and Soul! The now two-time Southwest Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, JJ Gale. The prophecy has been fulfilled.
as I wipe blood off my arms, this isn't the Stallion's blood. This is CJ Rollins' blood. And JJ Gale, when I get you in the Cheltenham Town Hall, I'll be doing the exact same thing with a belt around my waist, wiping your blood off the Stallion's massive, beautiful arms.
I've just got off the phone to Commissioner Fox, and I've demanded that he puts me in that main event. Why? Because these two are the fighting spirit and the heart and soul of what British wrestling is.
So whatever happens next, Johners, I'm here to cement my legacy as the greatest Southwest Wrestling champion in history. Because I am. Heart and soul.
Don't you know you better run, 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 run. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn. Talking about the revolution. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn. Talking about a revolution. Oh no. Talking about a revolution. Oh no. Talking about a revolution. Oh no. Talking about a revolution. Oh no.
Conor, it will be a triple threat for the Southwest Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Defending champion JJ Gale will be taking on not one, but two opponents in the shape of the Stallion, Chris Bronson, and the Gaffer, Zach Knight. And there we are. But I did say we have one more guest, and I'm going to introduce him now. The heart and soul, the current SWW Heavyweight Champion, the reigning defending champion, JJ Gale. JJ Gale, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. You joined us on the very first Hype Show. You're joining us once again. Thank you so much, champ. How you doing?
Yeah, it's great to be here today. You know, slightly different circumstances to the last time we sat down here six months or so ago. You know, there's been a few changes, but I'm here to talk business. I'm here to talk the fight, the big fight coming this Sunday. You guys have done a great job of running down this whole card. Like you've said many times, it's something special. It's somehow, again, 6 months on, the biggest show Southwest Wrestling have ever put on. And that means it's the biggest main event that Southwest Wrestling has ever put on. And it's star-studded, and it's the biggest test I've had to this date. But that's how I thrive.
Absolutely. Now, we got several questions for you, champ. But before we get round to them, let's hear from your two opponents. First of all, Chris Bronson, who's very kind to send us a special promo, especially for us. Well, I don't know if I should be too pleased, but here's what he had to say.
Chris! Some sort of fundraiser or something for charity. Look, Stallion always gives to charity, alright? So I think I got something here you can have. There you are. Put that in your charity pot, you bum.
I'm with Johners Podcast. Johners Podcast?
Oh my god. Is this about the hype show? I told Johners there's no hype to be had. Sunday, the Stallion is getting his heavyweight championship back. And that's it. That's it. No more hype. So let me tell you this, Johners. You can take your hype show, you can take Zach Knight, you can take JJ Gale, you can stick him up your ass. Get off my drive. Now.
Southwest Wrestling fans, the Gaffer Zach Knight returns to Cheltenham Town Hall January the 26th. I've just got off the phone to Commissioner Fox, and I've demanded that he puts me in that main event with Chris and with JJ. Why? Because these two are the fighting spirit and the heart and soul of what British wrestling is. JJ was nothing more than a Rev Pro contender when I was here in the UK. And now he's gone on to be the face of the place, the main event, and the SWW Heavyweight Champion. And then I look at the Stallion, Chris Bronson. He's what a wrestler looks like. A definition of a professional wrestler is Chris Bronson. And these two, they've been putting bangers on. Epic rivalry, epic encounters. And this is why I return on January the 26th. Lads, I want to come and play. Let's be having you. Because I'm telling you right now, you two are good. You're really good. But you're not the Gaffer Zach Knight good. So on January 26th, the main event will be the Gaffer versus the Stallion versus JJ Gale. Let's be having you.
Now, JJ, you heard what your two opponents had to say there, and Zach Knight just said there that you're good, but you're not Zach Knight good. And you heard what Chris Bronson had to say, former champion looking to retain or regain his championship after you took it from him. You successfully beat him the last time we were in the Cheltenham Town Hall. Do you have any words for your two opponents?
Yeah, I mean, let's start with Chris. There's a real storied history there between me and Chris. You know, I feel like it's been the ongoing story throughout Southwest Wrestling for the last year or so. I came back on my redemption arc looking to make up for what I thought was an embarrassing title reign all those years ago. A skinny teenager pretending to be someone he's not, coming back a man who's found himself and wants to prove to all of SWW and the wrestling world who I've become. I get that victory in the Frog and Fiddle, or I should have had that victory in the Frog and Fiddle. It was taken from me, and I come fighting back in Cheltenham Town Hall on a very special night. You know, there's something about that venue, the Town Hall, that just, it's electric. When the fans are in there, they're wanting action, the light's the brightest, and it makes you perform to your highest. And that's what I did that night. I proved my heart and soul again. As much as Chris tried every dirty trick in the book, I had him scouted, and I refused to say no. And as a result, I walked out champion. Now, he's clearly bitter about that. You've seen the tear he's gone on for the last 6 months or so in SWW. He's a very bitter man. I mean, he's also a very rude man, you know? I mean, it doesn't take much to just speak to a camera and give me and Zach Knight the respect that we deserve. But instead, he's got to keep living this lavish lifestyle and women, drink, whatever else it is he does. But that's a distraction in my eyes. There's nothing else in my life but training and being the best SWW champion I can be. I've said it time and time again. I want my legacy to be the greatest champion that this company has seen in the ring, out of the ring. I want to be the best well-rounded champion, and I want this to be my launching pad to superstardom in this industry. And when people look back at the rise of JJ Gale, they see this championship reign, and I don't think it's coming to an end anytime soon. But I want this to live in history. So I think Chris is distracted. And when it comes to Zach Knight, if I'm brutally honest, Zach, I appreciate the kind words. Me and Chris are two of the best in this country. We've proved that over the last year or so. But I think you're still taking us lightly. You see, Zach, he's worked for years and years. He's grafted. He's put in every ounce of his being into getting to where he is today, a TV wrestler, getting paid the big bucks, Ring of Honor, AEW. He's reached that goal. And the question I have for Zach and all of the SWW fans, I want you to ponder this. Once you finally reach that goal, once you finally hit that level that you want to be on, you're on TV, you're getting the money, your family's reaping all of the rewards after years of sacrifice. Just tell me, do you really think that you want it as bad as someone like JJ Gale, who is still going for every last thing I can get in this industry, who has a whole company on my shoulders? Do you really think you want it more? So that's my question. I think Chris, he's distracted. And I wonder whether Zach really has that same drive to win that he once had.
Conor, I understand you've got some questions for our champion.
I do indeed. I want to start off by saying, JJ, your match against Chris Bronson at WrestleVersary, I was on ringside doing commentary for it, and I'm not going to lie, to have the ability to call on your guys' match was a special moment and a highlight for me personally. So I just want to say thank you for being an incredible champion. A champion that Southwest Wrestling can be proud on. You've obviously had some great, fantastic matches in your fighting champion stance already. So you've taken on James Ellis, you've taken on Charlie Sterling, and you've taken on Joel Redman, and as well as Lee Hunter. Obviously, all of those matches have been singles matches. This is now a triple threat. Is there a change of mindset? Is there anything that you've learned from those matches going into this triple threat now, and anything more that you need to be aware of?
I mean, absolutely. It is an unknown position to be in, to be totally honest. I've had some of the best in this country come up and test me, whether it be my coach, Joel Redman, who's, you know, taught me a lot of the tricks that I use to win matches. And that proved to be one of my most difficult defenses. Someone like Charlie Sterling, a guy I was head to head with for most of the back end of last year, a real bit of rivalry across the UK. Up and comers like James Ellis, Josh Knott, you know, really making a name for himself. All of these guys have proved really difficult opponents, but I've always found that winning formula to have come out on top. But this time, it is a change in mindset because it's not all on me anymore. You know, I need to be smart. I need to have a strategy that means that I'm not out of the picture, because the bottom line is, if I'm out of that ring and Zach pins Chris or Chris pins Zach, then SWW have a brand new champion and there's nothing I've been able to do with it. Now, obviously, that means I've got to approach this differently, but it's just a bigger challenge. It's a challenge I'm willing to accept. So we'll see how that unfolds. It's unpredictable, but I think that could lend itself in my favour, if anything.
Yeah. Champ, the last time we saw you in the Cheltenham Town Hall, you were going in as the challenger. Of course, you were one of the first SWW champions back in the day. You are a two-time reigning defending champion, but the last time we saw you in the Cheltenham Town Hall, you were going in as the challenger. You're going in now as the champion. Once again, familiar territory, the Cheltenham Town Hall, a place where you won the championship 6 months ago. But is there any added pressure on you as the champion going in under different circumstances? Before, it was as the challenger. This time, it's the champion.
Absolutely. It's, you know, you go in as a challenger and it's win-win. It's a no-lose situation, you know. But this time, I've got everything to lose. And this championship really is everything to me, because this has been my chance to prove to the wrestling world that I belong at the very top of a card, the very top of a promotion, to prove that I am championship material. A lot of people have told me over the years that I'm not. You know, I'm a good hand. I'm an exciting wrestler, but you're never going to quite be that top guy. And you know, I'm making it my mission to be that guy. So yeah, it's huge. It's huge responsibility, and it's a different mindset. I feel a lot more pressure, not only on myself to retain this championship, but for the Southwest Wrestling fans. I feel like they've been behind me every step of this championship journey. And every time I go out there, I leave my heart and soul in the ring for them, because I believe they deserve a champion that will stop at nothing to remain their champion. So it's a lot of pressure. There's going to be a lot of nervous butterflies. There's a lot of unknown factors in a triple threat. Zach Knight, I haven't been in the ring with him for years, and he has leveled up and got to the very top of this game. Chris Bronson, like I said, he's on a mean streak at the moment. This is maybe a more aggressive Bronson than I've ever seen before. So it's not easy. It's not going to be an easy task. And if I'm honest, the odds aren't in my favour. There is a very, very good chance that I don't walk out of Cheltenham Town Hall as the champion. And this could be the end of the JJ Gale era. But just like I always do, I'll do everything I can to ensure that that's not the case.
Absolutely. And of course, would it be the triple threat, JJ? It's kind of anything goes rules. You know, it's going to be no disqualification. So it gives you, you know, the ability, but also gives your opponents the ability to kind of step outside the realms of a standard one-on-one match. It could get pretty tasty in the Cheltenham Town Hall on Sunday. What are your tactics? Do you have a game plan on how you're going to tackle your two opponents under such circumstances, and how you're going to walk out as the reigning champion?
Yeah, you don't become a 6-month-long Southwest Wrestling champion without having game plans and tactics long in advance to these big fights. Am I going to give them away for free here on the Hype Show? I'm afraid not. You know, as much as Chris likes to talk the game that he doesn't care, I'm sure he's sat right now enjoying a little margarita or something with his feet up, watching this show, trying to gain any little bit of insight. So I'm not going to be giving away my game plan here for everyone to see. But of course, I've got a game plan. Of course, I've got a way to get into this and find a way to use the triple threat rules to my advantage. However, I know that they will as well. I mean, we saw Chris Bronson brutalize CJ Rawlings, draw blood, and a lot of blood. I mean, I ran in to save CJ from an attack, and I was absolutely covered in the stuff. It was disgusting. So Chris Bronson will use the no disqualification, no countouts to his advantage. And what can we say about the Gaffer? He is the definition of street fighter. He has had to fight for everything on the streets of Norwich. He's a part of the Knight family, and say no more. We all know about that. So, you know, there's a lot going into this. There's a lot to be worried, concerned about. But at the end of the day, the thing I'm most concerned about is losing this championship. And that will drive me to do some pretty crazy things. I mean, those who have followed my career have seen that I'm high risk, high reward personified in the ring. And a stage like Cheltenham Town Hall, I see no better place than to take the ultimate risk to remain champion.
Conor, let me ask you, have you got any final words, final questions for our champion, JJ Gale?
JJ, your legacy thus far is going to be one of a fighting champion. In terms of the facts and figures that I have for you, you are approaching the same number of successful title defenses that Chris Bronson is leading up to. So you mentioned when we had this Hype Show for WrestleVersary, you wanted to be a fighting champion. You wanted to leave a legacy here in Southwest Wrestling as being the best Southwest Wrestling champion of all time. With this triple threat match, do you feel as though you're on that road to get there?
You know, I think it's definitely well on the way. I mean, if I'm able to overcome the odds and defeat two of the very best that this country's ever produced on the biggest stage of all the pressure of trying to keep this championship, then yeah, I think I'm on my way. But I won't be satisfied because there's a lot more work to do. There's more of a legacy to cement. So of course I'll be proud, I'll be happy, I will live in that moment for the night. But when I wake up on Monday morning, it's what's next? What's the next challenge? How can I make this championship the most important championship in British independent wrestling?
There we go. But your reigning defending SWW heavyweight champion, JJ Gale, the heart and soul. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday at the Cheltenham Town Hall for Talking About a Revolution as you defend in that triple threat match against Chris Bronson and Zach Knight. But champ, thank you so much, and we'll see you Sunday.
Thank you very much, guys. See you Sunday. It's the big one.
It certainly is. Thank you very much, champ.
Take care, champ.
There we go. A tremendous interview. Some valuable time spent there with the heart and soul, our SWW heavyweight champion, JJ Gale. Now that you've heard what JJ Gale has to say, Connor, what are your thoughts heading into that triple threat main event on Sunday?
I mean, JJ Gale is a fighting champion all the way through. It's been an absolutely amazing display of defenses that he has led up to this point. Obviously, it was going to be a very, very tough match against Chris Bronson, but the fact that Zach Knight, AEW, Ring of Honor, WAW star Zach Knight is now part of this triple threat. I would say that I believe in JJ Gale in order to get the win, and I am 98% certain of that. But it is just that 2%, if that, is just wondering, will Chris Bronson be a two-time Southwest Wrestling heavyweight champion, or will the Gaffer become the new Southwest Wrestling champion?
There we go. There's so much at stake on Sunday, so much at stake in that championship match. It really is going to be a tremendous card. You need to get yourself down to the Cheltenham Town Hall this coming Sunday, January the 26th, for Talking About a Revolution. Here is the recap of the match. 6 main event caliber matches. You've got the SWW Championship match when Zach Knight, Chris Bronson are going after JJ Gale's heavyweight championship. You've also got the Wonderland Warrior, Aluna, going to be defending her Warriors Championship against former champion LA Taylor. And LA Taylor is going to want to regain the championship that she lost so cruelly over a year ago. And then you've got the double title match between the professionals and the blockbusters. And we may have seen, some creases in the relationship, some cracks in the friendship and the partnership between the professionals. But I'm sure they can reconcile and give us a championship match that the Cheltenham Town Hall so richly deserves on Sunday against the blockbusters. But one of those teams will be walking away a double champion. And then we've got the SWW Openweight Championship match in that 4-way when Flynn Daddy, we had him on as a guest earlier. Flynn Burden will be defended against Big Jim Diehard, Sid Oakley, and of course, Liam Jones in that tremendous 4-way for the Openweight Championship. The Brit Pro Cup will be defended in a Brit Pro Cup Championship rules match when Axel Carter defends against the debuting Sid Scala, supercharged Sid Scala, no less. And that will be a fantastic match and a bit of a throwback to the World of Sport days in an old World of Sport venue on Sunday. And of course, Yeston Reese and Charlie Sterling will be going face-to-face, nose-to-nose in that big clash of 2 fantastic heavyweights on Sunday. But Connor, what a tremendous card to look forward to. Every match, main event, championship caliber, and 6 tremendous matches to be had on Sunday from the Cheltenham Town Hall.
Absolutely. I was wondering if you were going to ask me what my favorite match or what I'm most excited for, and I'm not going to lie to you, Johners. I love you, but I wanted to ask if it's a cop-out just to say every single match, because literally between those matches, I literally cannot decide between all of them what my favorite match is going to be. Legitimately, every single one is going to be fantastic. So get yourself down to the Cheltenham Town Hall. Ticket link just down the bottom, just over yonder there. Come on Sunday. If you like, hey, it's a New Year's resolution, I want to go and see more live independent professional wrestling. this is your chance to see high quality independent professional wrestling at its absolute finest.
Absolutely. 6 main event caliber matches will be live on offering. Just go to cheltenhamtownhall.org.uk to get your ticket or tickets. Bring the family, because Southwest Wrestling are going to be putting on a display. We're talking about a revolution. And Conor, you'll be there doing live commentary. I'll be there doing backstage roving reporting, as I do, with all the hype and all the backstage interviews. And we hope to see you down there as well. But on behalf of myself and Conor and Southwest Wrestling, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, for sending in your questions, for sending in your comments. And let's continue the conversation. Let us know in the comments down below what match you're most looking forward to. What are some of your highlights from 2024? What talent, what wrestlers are you looking forward to seeing at the Cheltenham Town Hall on Sunday? Like I say, Southwest Wrestling, one of the very best wrestling promotions in the UK. The new old school will be on display, the Cheltenham Town Hall, talking about revolution this coming Sunday, the 26th of January. And just go to cheltenhamtownhall.org.uk. But Conor, it's been a pleasure doing this with you again. I'm sure there'll be many more Southwest Wrestling hype shows to be had between the two of us down the road, my friend. But on behalf of myself, thank you so much, Conor, for being a wonderful, wonderful co-host.
Jonas, thank you. It's a pleasure and an honor to be with you for this hype show. You are one of the best in the game, sir. And thank you so much for having me on this Southwest Wrestling hype show.
There we go. I couldn't have said it better myself. And we'll see you all on Sunday.
Don't you know you better run, 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 run. It's finally the table are starting to turn. Talking about a revolution, oh no. Talking about a revolution, oh no. Talking about a revolution.